HQ, Agent Liev here. Clean slate protocol underway.
Copy that, Agent Liev. Green light. Extraction point confirmed.
I'm proceeding with the mission. Over.
Uh-oh.
No. Raven, respond, goddammit. Shit, I'm running out of time.
So, you made it this far. I'm coming for you, fucker. We'll meet real soon, you and I.
Revenge boner 100%.
Yes. Encouraged by the revelation that Sandman is still alive, Raven must go to the rooftop helipad of the dam, where he can finally reunite with the Major and escape from the City of Death once and for all. To do so, however, he must first gain entry to the upper floors where countless infected may be lurking in a great foreboding maze of tunnels. The risk is especially high, but there's no alternative for him to reach the destination in time. Chapter 5, Zero Sum. We got a fucking chapter drop here. 2 hours earlier. Okay, I guess I will get the chance to re-explore this place.
Called it.
Alright, what I got? 0 in there. 2 Magnum, another full Magnum clip. I need a save room so I can just dump off one of these spare magazines. I don't need to carry around 3 fucking mags. Got a bunch of health items. My health is real good.
97%. To the roof!
Yep.
That was me, not a zombie, by the way.
Okay. I totally thought
There is one ahead of you, though. Yeah, I had a really weird yawn that just sounded like a zombie groan.
Okay. I totally thought it was. I thought
But
you were zombies.
there were also zombies, so... Yeah, I did that thing where, like, I yawned, but my throat was also vibrating. I had to, like when you roll your R's. There's a guy to your left, too. You are very surrounded. Oh, never mind. He's just a corpse. I thought he was standing.
An apple juice.
A file.
Can't pick up.
You are too full. Alright, application form. Watch, this will literally just be a regular, fucking... What was the numbers? I'm sorry.
691.
691? Thank you. 691 HB application form. There it is. Oh, fuck. Alright. It's a bit long. Yeah, it's beeping. It's like an alarm. June 1995. The formal request submitted through this application must be approved by the General Board of Hexacore Biogenetics. Supervisors are reminded that although Hexacore Biogenetics is funded by both the Central Intelligence Agency and Department of Defense, no wonder they're so in bed with them, all activities by the company are considered classified and higher than that of intelligence. For this reason, the majority of resources it receives, as well as the studies it conducts, are handled entirely in-house. I hear that. Squeaky, 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 squeaky. That'll give me time to finish this. Therefore, internal staff are not exempt from the same level of secrecy and selection. Starting from the research team, then proceeding to the administration team and the security agents, all candidates must comply with the highest confidentiality. Regarding field agents who intervene in sensitive cases or emergency situations, mainly Special Forces H.A.D.E.S and pilots of H.A.D.E.S, these individuals are recruited primarily by supervisors, who normally select from Army, Navy, or Air Force ranks to then be evaluated and subsequently approved by the board. Number card 123, Supervisor, Major Hayden Vulcan, Candidate Captain David Hale. So I believe that's you, and Hayden Vulcan is Sandman. David Hale, I believe, is Raven. Captain David Hale was selected by Major Vulcan from the most decorated NASA pilots on leave. According to his personal file, Captain Hale, at 26, was one of the youngest pioneers of aviation when he participated in the last active duty on the morning of April 23rd, 1992. It involved an experimental test flight at NASA's Dryden Flight Research Center located at Edwards Air Base and identified as Joshua Control. Got it. The experimental flight, codenamed Gas Pipe, was to test the top-secret aircraft SR-91 Aurora. A classified report reveals that Captain Hale and Lieutenant Corrick were in flight above base when the fuel injection system malfunctioned and resulted in the leakage of flammable liquid that reached the cockpit of the first pilot. Yikes. During the emergency re-entry phase, a fire broke out that involved Lieutenant Corrick and began to spread to the second pilot's cockpit. The first pilot was totally engulfed in flames when Captain Hale assumed command of the completely uncontrollable aircraft. During his descent, the control tower ordered him to eject to save his own life, and especially the flight data recorded by the black box. However, Captain Hale made an arbitrary decision to remain aboard and attempt an emergency landing. The sudden shift in pressure, as well as deterioration from extreme temperatures, caused the cockpit's glass to shatter, injuring Captain Hale on his head. That's where his iconic scar comes from, I imagine. Now in mortal danger and unable to save the lieutenant, he was forced to eject himself just a few meters from the surface as the SR-91 crash landed. Following the accident, Captain Hale was subjected to a rather lengthy, painful physical and mental rehabilitation, only to be later charged with disobeying a direct order, reckless endangerment, and destruction of costly government equipment. As a result, his pilot's license was revoked and he was fired by NASA. No further information has been reported on the flight data, nor the fate of Lieutenant Corrick, who was never declared as killed in action and erased from any subsequent reports and records. Formal request. Major Hayden Vulcan therefore requests the reinstatement of Captain David Hale and his inclusion to the ranks of H.A.D.E.S, Hexacorp Air Force, as his subordinate in the Crimson Skulls unit. 3 years after the accident in Dryden, the previous tests definitively conclude that Captain Hale has recovered both physically and mentally for re-enlistment. Hayden's innate ability to pilot both aircraft and helicopters make him the best possible candidate for integration into the HAF. Outcome of the assessment, candidate approved. The usual procedures for physical and mental evaluation have been completed to integrate him into the Crimson Skulls unit under the code name Raven. Yep, so that's exactly what I thought it was. Also, fuck this guy. This is gonna hurt.
Well, I have an extra space in my inventory now.
I also think you're near the end of the game because I found every file except for maybe one.
Yeah, there was one downstairs I did not pick up.
Oh, I think it's an intern's note.
Fuck it, I'll go back down there again later anyway. Because it's just full of items.
Well, we'll see. You may not need them. You might throw more items at you on the way. We'll see how it goes.
Definitely going to.
Ooh, we got new sexy synths. Yep, there's a guy over there too. Yeah.
A flesh pillar.
Oh, it's the amalgamation. Hey, it's the H.A.D.E.S office.
Oh, thank God. There's a typewriter right next to it.
It makes sense. But will the latest young female recruit of Hades have a secret microfilm in the chief's desk?
I don't know. We'll have to check it 50 times.
Oh my God. Fucking
right.
Wesker, man. I'm sorry, Chris. It was only a phase, I swear. I am faithful to you, my darling.
Let's put this away.
Wesker swings any way Wesker wants.
Save.
T virus. G.
Alright, now I have a bunch of room for items.
This disc belongs to the captain of Hades! There's a caster Hades guy on the ground. Stay down. We have a desk to search 50 times. Oh god damn it. Sorry.
I found the rook.
Oh, you found Rook's log.
There.
Above someone's locker. I didn't see the name on the outside. There's also a note there, but I don't think the note means anything. Is that Ravens? That is... Yep. Giro. Never met that guy.
West, Crane, Leave,
T-Ray, upon Mark.
It's all the agents.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, there's Rooks.
Rook,
Krysek.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a dead guy. There's a number. This is hackable. Oh. No problem.
All right.
Or special slugs, and...
No.
Oh, that was just a weird...
Yeah, sometimes the open door thing is still there.
Yeah. There's a DD poster. Alright, are you ready to mash the A button?
Yeah.
Because this is way too similar. I mean, it's obviously on purpose. But
Yeah.
the fact that there is a flavor text that this is the captain's desk is really suspicious to me.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be that, but... Give it another 10 seconds. It's probably over 50 by now, but just...
It's definitely over 50 by now. Okay. No, they didn't do that.
Unfortunate.
The text won't go away now. Oh, okay, there we go. Hey, it's Barry's,
Yep.
not Barry's desk.
The weapon's been dissected and torn apart.
A wanted list.
Mm-hmm.
Of mass murderers.
There's no jacket here, but there's a DD thing. There's the first aid kit. It's Rebecca's.
Yeah.
This is the and there's the radio equipment in the corner. Seems to be a communications device. There's a
Yep.
dartboard.
It's
There's
so
the fax
similar.
machine. Oh man, this is like the most clear, like obvious reference.
It's yeah, it's super obviously the S.T.A.R.S office. Okay. Bring
First
you
aid kit
out.
on the wall and everything.
Drop you.
Yeah, I guess they didn't put a secret there, but it is. They must have put the flavor text in there on purpose just to be like, haha, it's you know the office, right?
Yeah.
You played this game.
You played Resident
Played
Evil
Resident
2.
Evil 2. That's why you bought this game.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay.
probably the only reason you bought this game.
Yeah, seriously.
All right.
I'm gonna kill this guy and then I'm gonna go scrape the items. Okay.
That was a special slug, so I would have hoped that did it. Ooh.
I've got a billion.
Oh, are you going back down to grab stuff?
Yeah.
Alright, well that gives me an opportunity to run away for a minute.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna edit this part out. There's really gonna
Except
be nothing
for
to do.
if you find that enter note, just make note of the number and we'll check it out.
Okay.
Alright, so just got out of the elevator. We came back up after the item scraping.
Yep.
We have a couple things to read. Do you remember which one 346 was? There was 2 files down there. I'm expecting executive's diary and intern's note.
It was one of those.
All right, well, I'll just try them both one at a time. All right, it was the intern's note. After just a few months here, let me double check. Yeah, recording looks good. Cool. After just a few months here, I finally got myself a decent assignment. It pays pretty damn good too, And the fact that it only involves photocopying and filing cards seems to be a real crime against taxpayers. Of course, I'm not a computer whiz or a biology specialist, but people like me are still necessary in this day and age. I want them to know that I'm perfect for this position, not only because of my background. The assignment I've been given seems to be a delicate one, considering that the higher-ups want a detailed report on all the major international companies on the forefront of medical science. In particular, those who have departments with contacts for military applications. This part is pretty easy, since the number one company on the list must be the famous Japanese multinational Kuronosu Enterprises. The tricky part will be finding anything below the surface of the facade they put on for the public. The company gave me access to the whole database, as well as their most sensitive international sources, most of whom failed to reveal anything except for the name Kuronosu being from Kronos, the Greek titan of time. I almost thought this said the Greek titan of anime. It's like, what? That's something I would like to explore one day. Apparently, it also has a hidden meaning relating to the passing of life, evolution, and the fact that medical technology can extend the human lifespan. The other sources told me that Kuronosu owes its beginnings to covert Japanese research and development unit that survived the Second World War. They officially produce advanced medications, but unofficially continue to research BC weapons that were lost after atomic blasting and sell them on the black market around the world. My report to my supervisor is due in 3 days. I'm afraid that all my hard work will be reduced to a hole in the water, including any hope of building a career in the upper ranks of Hexacore. I just wish some act of God will give me the time I need to finish this.
Okay, let you finish that. I'll read the computer.
You got a what?
I'll read this computer.
Oh. It's a computer.
The computer. Subject. The Hexacore logo, when I was starting to read, my brain was like, is that the fucking Death Star? And then I looked up in the top left corner and I was like, oh, it's Hexacore. Subject. Statement report priority level 1. Let's see. Message to H.A.D.E.S at department4.gov.
Mm-hmm.
Message from supervisor 27 at Hexacore, whatever. Yep. Hexbio.gov. All right. Internal Affairs Division, Hexacore Biogenetics. With extreme urgency, I'm writing a report about the potentially harmful conduct of a high-ranking officer in Hexacore Special Units. The person in question revealed during an informal encounter that he planned to betray the company and hand over sensitive materials to a rival due to personal reason, which, also, if extremely serious and understandable, are not justifiable compared to the severe consequences would be. I think it's supposed to be compared to how severe the consequences would be. A person dear to him with extreme reluctance and sadness, I therefore find myself today having to report that also, if I'm talking about a professional person, respected colleague who loyally served this company for many years, actually, even if it's someone I've been close to for a very long time, I have a moral responsibility to report acts that pose a potential threat to the company. Damn. This email was never sent. Do you want to edit it?
And then also in sent. The Truman Project Annual Report to Head XP from Supervisor 27 from February this year. You want me to take this one?
I'll do it, since you're going to have to read another file in a sec.
You got it.
For the intention of the Government Bureau of Studies, Head of Research Department 4, Phase 4 of the Truman Project started life at the Hexacore Biogenetics facility in Keensight, which has been proceeding as planned for over 4 decades. Thanks to the top-notch internal R&D staff, as well as external parties, whom I represent in this email, charged to monitor the city's guinea pigs. They just call them guinea pigs. What the fuck? Oh, excuse me. The Keensight one is once again this year's most productive and reliable research facility by comparison to our counterparts in blank City and Blankville. Is this supposed to be Raccoon? It's Raccoon City. Oh,
Raccoon City and Silentville.
Yeah, Silentville. Thanks to the dedication of Hexacore Biogenetics personnel, all threats have been completely eliminated, including a few pricks of conscience, as well as human error. I would like to emphasized that such errors is extremely rare. So much so, in fact, that over decades of research, the only mishap that ever proved fatal and stirred the hornet's nest, undermining the company and government's involvement, was solved blaming an unremarkable nurse who had to be sedated and scapegoated. Dude, I don't think you should be talking about that 50 years later, even if it's in an email with all the people involved. Which fortuitously led to the discovery of our most important study, the Daymare syndrome. Since then, there have been no further inconveniences worthy of note, like I want to remember in each report.
Why is the syndrome the most important study?
I don't know.
That's not clear. It still seems like it's just a bad side effect for some babies.
Mm-hmm. On behalf of all our team, I would like to thank the department for your continued support. Attached are the pertinent research data, results obtained, and annual financial statement. Thank you, Dr. Sarah Carmichael.
I think it's past midnight now, and it says the calendar's highlighting 21.
Oh, yeah? I guess so.
Yeah, and the bottom right corner, too.
So, I wonder if Daymare is the most important study for them because it was the first time they were able to put the weird virus stuff into people without them turning into freakish monsters.
Maybe. It might have something to do with that, or maybe they believe it has a more significant... It's not just a mental thing. Maybe there's more significant cognitive... Maybe there's some Death Stranding shit, like you are seeing ghosts.
Yeah, maybe.
But that's not clear from anything because there's no study information we got so far on the syndrome actually doing anything useful.
Also, you have one more file to read.
Yes, I don't know the number or what the
I
file
believe
is.
It's 267. Let me look because it'll just be...
I'm gonna guess executive's diary, but
267 executive's diary.
Okay. I'm working on it. It's
Okay.
going a little slow. You could do it. Come on, website.
I wonder if that's a neighbor or if my wife started cooking.
I know the answer to
Smell
this.
Food.
I know the answer to this.
Oh, it's Sammy, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was sitting here like, why am I so hungry? And then I breathed in deeply, and I was like, oh, that's why.
That was 267, right?
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that. There it goes. Let's see how dense this is. Pretty dense, but not the worst. Some of these, even though some of these are still pretty long, it feels like towards this back half of the game, the files are more digestible length instead of being like fucking pages.
Yeah.
September 12th, 97. The Boston office sent us another one of its most promising recruits. As a young up-and-coming layer... supposed to be player, called Mitch McDeer. The bait is always the same. Nice flat in the city, expensive ride, 6-digit bank account, a brighter future for him and his little wife. Happy to work for us, happy to protect our activities, including the most sensitive ones. November 18th. That McDeer boy is truly amazing. He's an ace on the green and leagues ahead of the dusty old men I normally deal with. All the civil suits we're mixed in, including the most risky ones that involve sensitive keen-sight matters, were closed with the greatest of ease. I'll be sure to reward him with a special gift and front row seat with management at the Christmas party this year. January 28th. McDeer is acting a bit too suspicious for my liking. I wonder if it has anything to do with the firm's most recent case and how he tackled its challenges. Of course, the disappearance of the prosecution's key witness made things easier. Did he really think every legal suit was only due him skills? March 3rd. Something is wrong. McDeer doesn't seem to care about the money anymore and is losing focus. He's likely unnerved by the recent case of Mr. Hackman, a former employee who got too close to the company's more unpleasant matters after having contracted a fatal disease from a substance he had himself administered to the townspeople, then finally took his final breath just days before the hearing and left his family badly off. Why should that matter? After all, the guy was no saint. It's pretty sad to develop a conscience only when your life is at stake. I have to get to the bottom of this and just see just how much the mishap has affected McDeer. March 7th. Bam. McDeer's been asking way too many questions to his colleagues, and I think he might actually be trying to steal confidential info that could be detrimental to the company's image. We've already bugged and tapped his place and both vehicles. I need to find out exactly what he's discussing with his wife in their supposedly...
That was the same door sound as the lab from RE2.
Safe house.
Or incredibly similar anyway.
Yeah, it sounded like it.
It is.
That's gotta be it. That's definitely it. March 10th. I'm sure of it now. McDeer's been working with some hero FBI agents. Our contacts in Washington confirmed it. I'll have to clean up the mess, as usual. I've already arranged it. A team of H.A.D.E.S in civilian clothes will bring the boy to the belly of the dam. In a few short weeks, he'll be just another unfortunate missing person who went out on a hike and got swallowed up by the Red Crest Mountains. It's a real blessing that he was smart enough to hide the truth from his lovely wife. 2 disappearances in such a short time, especially from the same family, could beg too many questions even in a town like Keensight. Besides, I'll do my best to comfort her. I saw the way her eyes stared at me the last company outing. As soon as the waves recede, I'll be sure to feel up the situation. The diary ends here. What a scumbag.
Well, yeah, what an evil piece of shit.